Chapter 9. Fetch loved the Grand Matriarch with all his heart. The Pangistri treated the companions as little more than slaves, using them for menial work, and as guide dogs when their five senses, weakened by too many centuries' reliance on telepathy, failed them. Indeed, that was exactly how the Grand Matriarch had first regarded Fetch. But as he served her with unflinching devotion, so she grew to trust him more and more, confiding in him and revealing to him things she would never tell her colleagues. So it was that Fetch was told of the great mission that the Grand Matriarch shared with her fellow Pangistri, and of her weariness with the strains imposed on her as head of her order. At times, she told him, she wished that death would come to take her. Occasionally, she would tell him of the happy days of her childhood, and the sadness she sometimes felt because of the sacrifices she had had to make. At other times she would reflect regretfully on the need for so many to die before her task could be accomplished. But these times were now rare. Over the 50 years he had been by her side, Fetch had noticed a change in his mistress as she came ever nearer to the end of her task and the achieving of the fabled Omega Point. Now there was a hardness in her he had never seen before, and an obsessive gleam in her eyes whenever yet another Kirathon came to join the Brotherhood of Kandasi. But never until now had he ever seen his mistress lose her self-control. Normally she kept a tight rein on her emotions, but now her face was white with rage, and her entire body trembled as he heard the news from Reptu that Ace had escaped. "She must be found! The Darkfell is the one place our eyes cannot reach," she screeched. "Without the girl, our effort of the past 5,000 years is in vain." "We have the doctor and his two friends," Reptu said, as though that might pacify her. "They have been brought to the harbours. They could be of use." The matriarch paused for a moment. "Raphael and Myrrel are of little consequence," she said. "But the doctor, he has expressed a wish to see Kandasi. Let us grant his wish. Take him to the island." Reptu nodded his assent and gratefully cut the video link connecting him with the matriarch. As the screen went blank, the Grand Matriarch sighed and relaxed slightly. When she finally spoke to her confidant, her lips were trembling. "The doctor may help us in our mission, Fetch. His experiences on the island will tell us. But the Time Lords were always an unpredictable and unreliable species, even during the last days of their existence. And the doctor is not only a Time Lord. Who knows how that may affect our task?" She shook her head in despair and raised a hand to soothe her brow. "No, it is the girl we need. She must be found and brought to Kandasi. Apotheosis must be achieved." "She will, mistress," Fetch reassured her. "Otherwise we are all doomed."